I salute you, my master. Other elementals lie in wait until with a word you command them to action. Which one of them, pray, has your preference? And that is your final choice? Thy will be done.
Spots after staring in the sun.
We are haunted by the same vision, my friend. The end of all visions.
Source Hunter, welcome, welcome. By all means. Yes, that was a small fib on my part, I'm afraid. Zandalore is known as the Keeper of the Source, after all.
How might I serve our mission? Leandra. She desires to be Mother of the Void, but you have the power to undo her born-in-blood litter. Though they be baptized in blood, you can cleanse the Starstones still, and use them to thwart their grim queen.
Source Hunter, welcome, welcome.
Why, I see Master Zigzax has upgraded from his shabby little hut at the edge of the hour, from the fairy dimension to the, space-time weaver hunter imp one. What do you call this place again? Ha! Is that so? It seems I have my share to learn about the magical world yet. The end of time. Well, suddenly your association with Master Zigzax makes sense. Well, I must say, it's no small relief to find myself in a safe haven among such allies. I believe the answer to that begins centuries ago, when your order was still cutting down so-called dark magicians by the dozens. Ours was a family of born sorcerers, you see. It was in our blood to interact with Source. But our parents were determined to curb the power within us. Still, their meekness wouldn't save them from the Source Hunters. I am, but there is more to our kind than they teach at your academy. Source isn't only blood and madness. It's like lightning, an exquisite current of great power. We sorcerers are like metal steeples. Source is drawn to us, and it flows through us. But what so many fail to understand is that Source can be controlled. The power drunk through history have abused it, and all the world's sorcerers have borne terrible consequences. Tell me, Source Hunter, in all your hours studying the arcane arts, did your great masters ever suggest that perhaps not all sorcerers were evil? Did you ever hear, even once, that some of us were weak and gentle, that we could be simple forest folk healing the sick and frozen each winter? No. I doubt also that they'd mention that one day this hunt of yours would birth a broken soul powerful enough to inch all of Rivellon toward oblivion. No, that would be going too far and eschewing my own responsibility. I believe Leandra's long fall down did begin at the hands of some of your own order, but it was I who sparked all of this. They came on a quiet morning. My mother was wild with fright and commanded me to hide myself and Leandra outside, among the trees. Even at that young age, we knew not to question her. We climbed high into the branches of a nearby tree, and before we could look away, our parents were cut down without ceremony before our door. The Source Hunters sauntered away, wiping their blades with pride. 2 more sorcerers dead, a job well done. From that moment on, everything was different. As we trembled in that tree, our fear and our desperation were so potent that the magic within us began to weave together. Our souls became forged together, our bond unbreakable. We would survive, thrive even, within those woods, never speaking to outsiders. Our soul forge meant that if one of us were to die, the other would instantly perish too. We kept one another close. Leandra's capacity was enormous. Source didn't frighten her, and she delved into that dark well with terrible regularity. I did my best to guide her, but she fast outgrew my admonitions. My sister and I were mired in a solitary existence, witches among the trees when Zandalor came. Leandra especially couldn't leave him be. He was a feast of information, and she wouldn't rest until she'd absorbed every bit of knowledge he offered. Their days were spent on charms, hexes, and the like. At night, Leandra would wander off to practice what she'd learned, and Zandalor and I would settle into our quiet tasks, side by side. We were a content trio, the 3 of us, but base impulse would undo us. As you know, Leandra and I were soul-forged. This offered us a window into one another's souls. I knew Leandra had developed feelings for Zandalor, and she knew I had too. But it was me to whom he confessed his love. Those quiet evenings together had captured his heart, as they had mine. Her heart broke the moment we announced our new attachment, and I felt the pain of it as sharply as a knife. She fled, without a word, and I didn't see her for 2 terrible years. My connection to her, our soul forge, grew weaker. It was as though some third entity, a parasite, were atop our souls, sucking the strength from it day by day. We've a single order of business first and foremost. Leandra is gathering an army, and I fear we'll have to get through it if we wish to find her. But first, we must learn more about Leandra's plans. How many of these so-called Immaculates does she have in her palm, and to what end is she directing them? Your journey must begin in the Lacula mines, where she has been accumulating materials and manpower for a purpose as yet unknown. The way will be dangerous. Her allies are growing more powerful and numerous by the minute, but we must discover exactly what Leandra is planning and why. A soul forge comes with its own benefits, Source Hunter. Though our connection has weakened, I still see the occasional vision of Leandra's doings, the pangs of her deepest felt emotions, and flashes of her triumphs. One vision, I had thought it was only a nightmare, but now I see it was something much worse. Leandra is collecting materials, precisely what, I cannot say, and is hard at work shaping them into something sinister. Her frustrations are rivaled only by her mirth. I can see she's growing closer and closer to achieving something dire. You must make your way deep into the mines to see exactly what she's planning. I believe that our soul forge has been damaged. By what? I can only guess. The fraying of the bond between us has left Leandra adrift in a well of sorrow she truly believes will never end. What she needs is a hand, my hand, out of this abyss. If our soul forge is repaired, I am certain she'll cease blazing this path of destruction. I cannot condone the terrible things she's done, but I can seek to understand them. With our soul forge in such tatters, I believe Leandra is adrift in the not at all inconsiderable sorrows of our lives. What's more, I sense a terrible force bearing down upon the bond between us. It is hungry, and it consumes ever more of Leandra's mind and soul. I cannot say exactly what this force might be, but I'm certain it's both driving me out and driving Leandra on. If I could only repair the forge, I'm certain she'd put a stop to this madness. The way may be treacherous, but you must get inside. I fear my sister is doing something dreadful so far from the light of day. You and Zandalor have always been close, are you?
I wonder who awaits you in the next chamber. I wonder what they'll say.
Good gods! What an infernal heat! Feels like I've landed inside the heart of the sun.
You say they have your loyalty still, despite their utter failure. Foolish creature. Chain your fate to theirs, and you are chaining it to certain downfall.
That remains to be seen. I do believe they will remember. I do believe I will serve them again, despite your tricks.
Always am I the trickster, always am I the malefactor. Yet all I do is speak the truth. They failed before, and they will fail again. The void, I can see it approaching in their eyes.
What radiance burns from your being? Enough to scorch even the likes of me, I find, and that is no small feat. Most impressive, yes, most impressive indeed. Why, I am a soldier of fire, and does this landscape not befit me? I have lived here for eons, since the first great peace, when the world as your kind know it was first secured. We were invited here by a great leader, I believe. Yes, a leader. I'm sure it was. The details, they crumble like ash when I try to grasp them in truth. But the radiance of that time has never left me. Victory, blazing victory, adorned our heads like a crown of glorious flames. I'm sure one as radiant as yourself must understand exactly what I mean. What do I know? Ha! Fire magic is me, and I am it. A far better question is, what would you like to know? Take care, my... You've returned, my brilliant friend. Take care, my friend. You've returned, my brilliant friend. What do I know? Ha! Fire magic is me, and I am it. A far better question is what would you like to know? Take care, my friend.
Represents all of time. One wouldn't think time.
You've returned, my brilliant friend. What is it that you wish to know? Take care, my friend.
Are we doomed to a life without refreshments? Dear Starstone Commanders, I do apologize for the state your homestead is currently in. It's like a zoo in here, or worse, an imparium. That's right. These red little blighters appeared as out of nowhere when another one of the portals became active. God 7 or 700, if there's one thing I can't stand, it's imps.
Into it, doesn't it?
I know, but really, they're zany, they're exasperating, they're unpredictable, and they have about as much use for history as a professional clairvoyant has. Band of... Why, I'm not one of them! Not one of those exiles that were slaves to demons and their own inadequacies! But talk to them if you must hear their history. I haven't the stomach for the vagaries of my own species. No, what I need is the sound of a symphony, a whiff and a swig of old tasty wine, and above all, a shelter away from imps.
What a wonderful place this is. A lovely locale to rest my weary belly. Far better than the hellish plains we imps are used to. Yes, I think we'll stick around. With your approval, of course. What's that? We have it. Marvellous. No, that hoity-toity historian thinks he's so much better than us demon thralls just because he was never actually enthralled by demons. And yet he's no more than a lackey to the gods, isn't he? What's the difference? Right you are. Grab a drink, sit you down, and lend me all the ears you have. We imps, you see, are a mixed breed of demons and some other long-forgotten race, which means we aren't as evil as the devils that begot us. But I'll be damned twice over if we aren't as clever. We hail from the realm of Nemesis, where demons have ruled supreme since, well, forever, really. Their knowledge of secrets and arcane scholarship is unparalleled. As unparalleled, in fact, as our inquisitiveness. Now, curiosity may have killed the cat, poor thing, but it enslaved us imps as well. We were blinded by the promises of knowledge the demons dangled in front of our eager faces. Yes, well, in hindsight it wasn't, but it seemed like a good idea at the time. Here's what happened. In return for our fair share of demonic knowledge, all of us imps had to sign our names in an indestructible book called the Codex, which was to be considered an oath of servitude, a contract of give and take for mutual benefit, and signed at free will. Fools that we were, we readily agreed, and thereby signed our way into slavery. For we had to do everything the demons told us to, and they, in turn, shared very little knowledge with us indeed. Quite so. That's because one day, a particularly clever imp amongst us devised an escape plan. If we would be able to steal the Codex and disappear with it, the demons would no longer be able to lay claim on us, for without the proof of the Codex, the contract between us would be broken. One night, as the demons lay sleeping after a most sordid orgy indeed, we stole the Codex and fled from Nemesis through a rift. Ever since then, we've been on the run, for our masters swore they'd return the Codex to Nemesis so they can claim our servitude once more. So all we do is run and hide ad nauseam. Eternal fugitives are we.
Well, aren't you going to leave?
Kind of got lost, to tell you the truth. That's what happens after generations of flight. Things get misplaced. And yet, wherever that bloody book may be, up until now, the demons still haven't found it. So, good news there. Only a matter of time until they do, though. Unless, of course, time ends first. Wouldn't that be a stroke of luck?
I wonder who awaits you in the next chamber.
I sense an eerie presence here.
Here. You do not disappoint. I knew you'd come this way. Room by room you encroach upon this territory, woefully torn from time. No, you do not disappoint. Something much more harmful still. You excruciate beyond all thinkable bearing. You had our thankfulness, our eternal gratitude, the acknowledgement of the void. So why do you fight us? Why do you stand against the promise of oblivion? Relent, Guardians, relent! You did your duty long, long ago. Do not undo what had to be done.
Duty. I wonder what he meant by that.
I didn't expect to find the likes of you here. Fallen stars, forgotten angels from on high. How long has it been? An age, an eon. But you've changed quite considerably, I see. Yes, the divine is but a glimmer in the farthest reaches of your gaze. Well, perhaps I can help you. One of your kind ought to be a bit stronger of arm. A bit quicker of wit, after all. And we are all counting on you, sir. My autobiography will hardly serve you. What's far more relevant is what I see in you. Quite crucial, your survival, isn't it? And you do seem such a reasonable sort to boot. There's very little pleasure greater than dealing with a reasonable sort, I find. Yourself redone, of course. Your very parts and pieces reorganized into something simply better. I'd quite like to help you, my friend. But unless you've got a mark of talent to spare, no deal can be struck.
You both puzzle and delight me, Sir Ahu.
You know what,
To be
great
man and
jokes.
cat
Oh,
most.
I could tell a joke.
Aye,
Are you on a good day?
You flatter me, my lady,
Oh,
but
it's
yes,
every year.
I quite
Every
like
year.
to weave
Every year,
between two
I said.
planes of existence, bound by mind.
Say, have you seen my magic box? It's got all kinds of wonders stashed inside.
the hoary beard of Boreas, can it be? You've come home. It's about time, isn't it? Your quarters have been invaded by all manner of madness. Does my brilliant frost beguile you? I am ice, of course. A soldier of ice, to be explicit, and this is where I have dwelt across many eons. Here I wait for the day, if ever, I am called to serve the realm again. Off to explore.
Have it dropped. I could fly straight to the void.
By the hoary beard of Boreas, can it be? You've come home. It's about time, isn't it? Your quarters have been invaded by all manner of madness. Off to explore. By the hoary beard of Boreas, can it be? You've come. Off to explore.
By the hoary beard of Boreas, can it be? You've come. Does my brilliant frost off to explore?
Fasten tighter than the treasury.
And the start of a preacher over. Better that reeking of fresh blood.
Goddess greetings, friend. Her greatness gave us fire, her greatness gave us earth, and my savvy brings you spells at the best rate in town. Come, give me your best offer.
Hi there, cutie pie. Wanna have a good time?
Goddess greetings, friend. Her greatness gave us fire, her greatness gave us earth, and my...
Hi, friend. This is most excellent news. Welcome to the Immaculate Fold. Yes, I can see you, so that is wicked. Costumes for my very veins.
Goddess greetings, friend. Her greatness gave us fire, her greatness gave us earth, and my savvy brings you spells at the best rate in town. Come, give me your best offer.
Hi there, cutie pie. Wanna have a good time? Hi there, cutie pie. Wanna have a good time? Over here, sweetie. Oh, I'm aching to share a moment together. Over here, sweet cheeks. Oh, I'm aching to share a moment together. Hi there, cutie pie. Wanna have a good time? Hi there, cutie pie. Wanna have a good time? Hi there, cutie pie. Wanna have a good time?
Praise the goddess. I passed the trial. Oh, friend, this is most excellent news. Welcome to the Immaculate Fold. Yes, I can feel the goddess's vigor coursing through my very veins.
Hi there, cutie pie. Wanna have a good time? Why don't you stay a while, darling? I just know I could take you on a wild ride if you let me. Hi there, cutie pie. Wanna have a good time? Why don't you stay a while, darling? I just know I could take you on a wild ride if you let me. Over here, sweet cheeks. Oh, I'm aching to share a moment together. Over here, sweet cheeks. Oh, I'm aching to share a moment together.
Where the wind blows, the goddess breathes. Where the rivers run, the goddess weeps. How can I connect you to our eternal goddess, my friend?
Why don't you stay a while, darling? I just know I could take you on a wild ride if you let me. Over here, sweet cheeks. Oh, I'm aching to share a moment together. Hi there, cutie pie. Wanna have a good time? Why don't you stay a while, darling? I just know I could take you on a wild ride if you let me.
These goblins are worse than the trolls. Half as dumb and twice as mean.
At least they don't have that distinct underside of a bridge aroma.
Better that than reeking of fresh blood.
Why don't you stay a while, darling? I just know I could take you on a wild ride if you let me.
Praise the goddess. I've passed the trial.
Friends, this is most excellent news.
Welcome to the Immaculate Fold. Yes! I can feel the goddess's vigor coursing through my very veins.
Cutie pie, wanna have a good time?
Quite a fine skeleton beneath that hide of yours, isn't there? Yes, a lovely, sturdy thing. I bet it'll last 100 generations, if treated properly.
Stay a while, darling. I just know I could take you on a wild ride if you let me.
Quite a fine skeleton beneath that hide of yours, isn't there? Yes, a lovely, sturdy thing. I bet it'll last 100 generations, if treated properly.
Why don't you stay a while, darling? I just know I could take you on a wild ride if you let me. Hi there, cutie pie. Wanna have a good time? Over here, sweet cheeks. Oh, I'm aching to share a moment together. Hi there, cutie pie. Wanna have a good time?
a troll. Half as dumb and twice as mean.
At least they don't have that distinct underside of a bridge aroma.
Better that than reeking of fresh blood.
Hi there, cutie pie. Wanna have a good time?
Ever shot a bullseye in your sleep? Well, no wonder with your skill book as empty as all that. Watch where you're going. These beauties will pierce you to the bone. So, do you fancy a trade then? Come now, before my ale arrives.
Over here, sweetie. Oh, I'm aching to share a moment together.
You dare disturb my ruminations? It must be that you can hardly...
Oh, dear, dear, dear. You'll hardly impress the conduit with such a cloudy...
Oh. You haven't any ale, have ya? Well, never mind for now. What sort of magical relics can I offer ya? Blessed by the goddess they are, each and all.
Yes! I can feel the goddess's vigour coursing through my very veins.
Hi there, cutie pie. Wanna... I just know I could...